You are all welcome again to today's episode, whereby we shall be sharing important content to help us as an individual to get along in our psychological consciousness and also help us to improve our psychological well-being. I welcome all our viewers all over the world, thanking you tremendously for your support, for being there in watching our videos, sharing our videos, and also liking our videos. We are sure that as you go along with us, you will be tremendously enriched with quality content we shall be sharing on this platform. Before now, for those of us who have watched our videos, you would have heard about, in quotes, Lulu, who, despite the home environment, you would have heard about Lulu, who grew up in a toxic home environment. And because of that, she became traumatized, and going into marriage was something anxiety-provoking for her. But the good news was that she met with therapists, and through assessment, psychological assessment, and through therapy, she was able to connect, gain insight between her present fear and the childhood trauma. And through several and series of sessions, she has been able to come up. She has been able to overcome some of her traumatic experiences. At the moment, the anxiety is deflated. She's more confident to continue her journey into good relationship, and also which ultimately will culminate into a healthy marriage for Lulu. But it's important for us to understand that a good and quality premarital counseling is one of the things that is indispensable in the life of Lulu, especially quality premarital counseling that will not only equip her with financial knowledge, with spiritual knowledge, with home building knowledge, and also such skill should include how to identify red flags, mental health issues that could compromise her future marriage, how to identify mental health related issues in her prospective husband or prospective spouse, such that Lulu, all things being equal, will escape the same trauma that her mother experienced in her marriage. Because of course, it is important that one of the things that Lulu must ensure that doesn't befall her is the traumatic experience she and her mom experienced in the hand of her father. So it is important that as Lulu is trying to go into this marriage, she must learn what are some red flags in men that people must identify before they accept going into any relationship. Also that they must accept before they will say, I do. Yes, of course, there are several dimensions that people follow when it comes to issue of who should be their husband or who should be their wife. Some individual ladies, one of the things they do is they do some spiritual consultation. They pray, do some prayers to ask for the mind of God and see to what extent the journey of their marriage is acceptable to God. These are all spiritual consultations, spiritual approach that people uses. Some individual, of course, they look at the physical appearance of the individual. Oh, it should be handsome man, and should be light skin or dark skin, should be someone that is eloquent, someone they can be proud of physically. Some individuals are also looking at the social network of the individual. Oh, he has a cousin in the presidency, he has an uncle in the Senate, oh, the father is even a governor, and etc., etc. A lot of other individuals forget to look at the mental health of that prospective partner. The mental health is key, just like, as it were, we have seen in our previous presentation. And in the premarital counseling, Lulu has learned that for her not to suffer what her mother experienced in her marriage, herself must pay close attention to the mental health of the prospective husband whom she is going to settle her life with throughout her lifetime. So in this junction we want to discuss with our viewers all over the world, what are these prerequisites, what are these important factors that an individual must take note of when choosing a life partner, just like Lulu also in choosing her own life partner, that becomes important for her to take cognizance of and to prioritize. Remember, our viewers, Lulu is just used here just to illustrate this concept we are trying to discuss. So one of the very cardinal points an individual should look at, beyond the spiritual, beyond the physical, beyond the financial. Yes, of course, some individuals also look at the financial aspect of this individual, how wealthy he is, how blessed financially, what kind of job he's doing, how many buildings he has, and etc., etc. But beyond this, it's important to look at the mental health of this individual. So number one, red flags. When you see a man that drinks and smoke and is actually proposing to you as your future partner, you should see this as a red flag. Use of psychoactive substances is a red flag that Lulu needs to take cognizance of. And for all our viewers who are prospective couples or who are prospective individuals, either searching for a good and healthy relationship or you are about to go into marriage, kindly come closer, draw nearer, and kindly share this video to all other of your friends. Kindly share this video to your friends globally, because this is going to be a life-saving psychological jacket for you. Because as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. Psychoactive substance use in an individual is a big red flag that I should quickly tell you that this is a no-go area. When you see a man smoking cigarettes, very soon we'll be drinking alcohol. Very soon from cigarettes we go to cannabis. It may even progress to Colorado. And where such exists, probably you are thinking you only take a small quantity. A time is coming we graduate to a higher quantity. And where such exists, it is always a precursor for domestic violence. It is usually characterized, such an individual, they are usually vulnerable to becoming wife beaters at home. What does psychoactive substances do? They impair judgment. In most cases, they always lead to financial recklessness. In most cases, some of them come down with mental health issues. In most cases, some of them lose their job. And in marriage, someone who is abusing psychoactive substances, the children are likely to take the habit from him. Such a lifestyle is dangerous and is a red flag for an individual who want to have a healthy home, who want to raise a healthy family, to avoid individuals who abuses psychoactive substances. Somebody is saying, so are you now saying that these people should be left without a wife? Now the question is, the problem associated or the challenges associated with marrying someone with psychoactive substances is greater than the benefit. Let those individuals go and stop first. Let them cease from using psychoactive substances first. Don't make yourself a victim of a problem you never created, because no matter the wealth of this individual, no matter the physical appearance in terms of handsomeness, once you enter, it could be very, very traumatic, because most psychoactive substance abusers are usually prone to creating an environment that is toxic in relationship. What other factors should you consider that should serve as a red flag in this so-called journey of relationship or going to marriage? Is the level of anger of an individual. When you meet an individual who is proposing to you and is highly temperamental, highly aggressive, it is a red flag. Someone that when he gets angry, he can slap your face, kick you like ball or buckets. It's a big red flag. And one of the things I try to tell my clients is that when you enter into a relationship, don't fall in love easily, especially to Lulu, and especially to all our viewers. Don't quickly fall in love. It is common for most of our young ladies, once they see somebody who is I love you, I love you, I love you, calling them, they quickly fall in love. Once you fall in love, the love can blindfold you. You will not see some of these red flags. So it is first and foremost, before you fall in love, first of all, screen this individual. If there are some of these red flags, it will tell you whether to go on or not in that relationship. Level of aggression, level of anger. Oh, he slapped your face the first day. Say, oh, sorry, it's a mistake. My friend, my viewer, that is not a mistake. And he gets angry and he said, you are this, you are that. He insulted you, insulted your family where you were born. It is because your mommy did not train you well. It is because your daddy did. That is not a slip of tongue. It is a red flag for you to know that where you are is a wrong place. Do you know you are even lucky to quickly see that before marriage? Because you can quickly make a U-turn. So Lulu has to go through all this training in order for her to have a healthy home and a healthy marriage. You know, the beauty of having a healthy marriage can never be quantified. You leave your house happy, you come back home happy, you sleep happy, you live a life of happiness every day. That is what marriage is expected to be for Lulu. It's not a place to endure, but to be enjoyed. But to have it enjoyed, these psychological parameters, they cannot be swept under the carpet. Alas, you see, I see a lot of couples every time who comes to me for counseling, for therapy, and when you hear the story of some of them, oh, you will empathize with them, but you would rather say it would have been better for them not to even go inside than going into it in the first place. So, level of aggression of that individual. Sometimes you can test the individual to know how he will react. You can just play some psychological game, not deception, psychological game on him to know how he will react. That can help you know the level of aggression of that individual. One very important red flag you must listen and pay attention to is his level of empathy, level of interest in your career development. My viewers all over the world, it is key, it is interesting for you to know this, that there are some individuals who does not want their wife to grow. It is not a joke for me to tell you this, that there are some individuals, they don't want the career development of their wife. In fact, they are looking for every opportunity to make sure the wife does not excel beyond them. So if you meet this kind of attitude, trait in an individual, it's a big red flag. And probably you are someone who has finished your BSc, you now want to do your MSc, you are also planning to do your PhD. See, it is important for you to put into consideration, would this man be interested in you? Or you are someone who is probably a lawyer and you want to become a judge, you want to be conscious, would this man be interested in your career development? So when you see a trait of someone who is not interested in your career development, career advancement, he does not have interest in your progress, is a big red flag that you have to take cognizance of and make informed decision. Now, this presentation is not telling you that, oh, you must run away from such. It is to guide you to make informed decision. The decision to stay or to leave such relationship or to enter such relationship solely lies on you. On this platform, our own is to empower you with the knowledge. What you do with the knowledge is with you alone. But I mean, and I want to say that I think wisdom is profitable to direct. Level of interest in your progress is very, very important. I am going to discuss something that appears very minute to some individual, but is key. Beware of someone who has narcissistic personality traits. That concept may appear a big, but you can help me type it in the comment section. What do you understand by narcissism? What do you understand by someone having narcissistic personality? What have you heard it before? What does it mean to you? And if you are getting value from our content, kindly like, share, and subscribe so that other individuals can benefit from this golden opportunity. You know, one beautiful thing in life is that it's better to remain single than to be in a toxic relationship or marriage. Yes, it's better remain single than to enter a relationship like that of Lulu's mom. It's better for you never to, because when you have not gotten into marriage, you still have better chances of getting a better person. So, and don't say because of age you want to quickly rush into it. No, you don't rush in. It's something you take calculative step before you enter. An individual who have narcissistic personality trait is someone who lacks empathy. They don't know how to show concern. They don't have time for your feeling. Whether you are crying, whether you are dying, it's not their business. They are only concerned about their own self every time. Whatever will not benefit them, they are not interested in it. A narcissistic personality person is somebody that is so pompous, is so arrogant, is somebody that is emotionally insensitive to whatever you say or whatever you do. And they will never take responsibility for their own mistake. They will always blame the other person. If you have them as a friend, it is an issue. If you now go and have them as a wife or husband, it's terrible. It's a red flag. When you see this kind of trait in an individual, somebody who cannot show empathy, emotionless, insensitive to your feeling and your concern, will never take responsibility for his error, but rather will blame you all the time, it is a big red flag. These are some of the things that Lulu has to take cognizance of for her to avoid falling into the same mistake that the mother entered while growing up. When another red flag is someone who has not overcome the trauma of past broken relationship. Trauma of past broken relationship. Somebody who is still having that challenge is still stuck in his past broken relationship. Or let me say it in another dimension, a woman who is still stuck in her past broken relationship, likely to see every other relationship like that of the past one that traumatized her. Such an individual, that trauma, the manifestation of that trauma itself is a red flag, because it will always challenge whatever relationship the individual is having. Another traumatic experience that must also be looked into and get resolved is somebody who is carrying past trauma of rape or sexual abuse. You see, sexual abuse in childhood, adolescence, even in adulthood, to a lady can be so traumatic to the extent that the individual may start to mirror all other men around her as being the rapist. They start to see all other individuals coming to them like the individual who sexually molested or abused them. And in some cases, some of them have aversion for men. So when you can detect this manifestation in an individual, it is either in a man or in a woman. It is a red flag that needs to be resolved and dealt with before proceeding into the next stage of saying, I do. I am sure as we go along in this presentation, one or two of us might have had one or two experiences in relationship where some of these issues were manifesting. Were you able to identify them? If you were, write it in the comment section. I've seen it before and I was able to identify it. And if you are not, if you are just seeing it now as we are talking about it, you can just say, I am continuing to connect and see it in this relationship now, because it cannot sweep them under the carpet. You cannot sweep them under the carpet. It is important that you take cognizance of these factors, because there are things that you need to look into. Now, if you have someone who is having one or two of these red flags, and the individual is willing to get treatment, it's a good idea. But even after treatment, you still need to revalidate and reconfirm to be sure that some of these things are completely gone. Red flags, you must take note, is past psychiatric condition. An individual who has had past history of mental health challenges is something you must ensure you ask about when going to relationship. Ensure you ask for the history. If there are past history or psychological problem, either in childhood, either in adolescence or in adulthood, the implication of that is that it will help you to know what you are actually going into and how to help the individual, if at all you have the capacity to go into such relationship and marriage. Because most times such history is usually concealed, is usually hidden, and when it is unknown to the other party, when the turbulence comes up, it becomes a challenge. So understanding that does not mean that the other party should run away, but thorough assessment and evaluation of the situation can help the individual to take a decision whether to go on or not, and if going on, ways to manage it effectively can also be marshaled, because the mental health, as we have said earlier, is the king of all health.